Well, hello, everybody. Peter Dennis here. And today, my guest is Teresa Greco. Teresa's a channeler. You may have seen her on one of my Sunday afternoon events, or you may have seen her in other ways. But Teresa, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Teresa, would you tell our audience a little about yourself? That's better than me going through your long resume and everything.
Thank you. So I'm an educator. I'm a happiness life coach. I'm the host of a weekly internet show called the Steps to Happiness Show. I'm an educational technologies consultant. I'm the editor and senior writer at 2 Canadian magazines. I'm also a Reiki master and a 3-time best-selling author. And I write for various magazines as well.
And my spies tell me that you're also in front of the camera once in a while.
Yes, once in a while.
You do commercials as an actress.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Yeah, great
Yes.
stuff. Well, now you're a channeler as well, and that's why you're here. How did you come to be a channeler?
Well, as a happiness life coach, I specialize in happiness and spirituality. So the universe was presenting different opportunities for me to check out what channeling was. And I became curious about it, and it ended up connecting me with you. And you explained a little bit more about it. And after attending some of your events and asking some questions, it was revealed to me that my soul was interested in channeling. And so after a bit of soul searching, let's say on my own, I decided that it was something that I wanted to pursue.
Mm-hmm. Well, that wasn't so long ago, and you've come along very quickly as a channeler. How has that impacted your life?
So it's been over a year now. So I know it doesn't feel like that long ago, but it's been a while now. And I would say that it has deepened my spirituality even more, that I had wanted to hear from God my entire life. And this was a way that I was able to do that anytime that I want. And so not only, do I communicate with God or Jesus, or there's a collective that works with me as well, my higher self. So there's the possibility of speaking with different spirits and entities, let's say, which has been made available to me through channeling.
Mm-hmm. I know channelers get a lot of personal guidance, and that's a big motivation for being a channeler. But also, we seem to learn just a whole lot about how the universe works, and the overall design of life and things like that. I imagine your learning curve, like mine, has really been very steep. Yeah.
Well, they reveal information to us that we're not aware of from this point of view, let's say from our very limited point of view, that we can only really take in the world around us through our 5 senses. And so being able to hone in on what some people call our 6th sense, I refer to it as our higher self, our spiritual self. It's a part that we're not really taught to learn how to communicate with and really understand what that communication is like, but it's always there. And so it is really just a matter of practicing and learning that communication. And then through that, we're able to have information that is given to us from a greater point of view, let's say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it seems to me to be uplifting information. It's empowering. It's love-based. It's all great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you channel different beings. I think you mentioned some. Do you have any idea who might be with us today?
It is the guardians of light.
Okay. But for our audience, I guess, Teresa, I guess perhaps you can clarify this, Teresa, but I think you were tapping into your intuition really, and maybe getting a little message from your higher self or whatever. Um, but yeah, sometimes we're surprised as to who shows up, but it's always nice to know. And the guardians, I think, are pretty used to channeling through you, and I've certainly had conversations with them. So, Teresa, at this point, would you like to bring them in and we'll have a chat with them?
Sure.
Yeah, good.
Hello.
Hello, guardians. Uh, First of all, welcome, and secondly, thank you very much for being here today. I know you were probably listening into the conversation Teresa and I had, so I hope you understand what we're doing here. Would you be good enough to explain for our audience a little about yourselves? Who are the Guardians of Light?
Thank you for inviting us to be here with you today. We are a collective from what you might call a different dimension, one who operates the greatest intentions of love, peace, and one who wants to offer guidance to those who are looking to understand more about themselves, the human collective, and the universe beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Now, you call yourself the Guardians of Light, and that raises a couple of questions in my mind. One, do I understand it correctly that the light is really the source essence? And the second part of my question is, why are guardians involved in that? Does it need guarding or garden? Does it need to be guarded in any way?
So you were correct in the first part. We are referring to energy as a light, and not that it needs to be guarded, but more like a parent would be a guardian of a child.
Okay.
Guardians in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And in that way, are you then shining your light throughout the universes? Or are you sort of zeroing in on planet Earth and humanity at this time?
We offer our guidance in to many other collectives, in many other dimensions, not only the human one.
Now, you're doing this in this case with Teresa. You're channeling through her, providing information, as you said earlier, that would assist humans. Are you working in any other ways with humanity?
We are always sending positive energy to humans. For often, many of you are operating in low frequencies of energy, and we shine our light and love towards the planet with hopes to raise the vibration of those of you that are there at this time.
Mm-hmm.
You could imagine us like this with our hands open and directing that love and light and energy towards the planet.
Mhm. And at this time, as I understand it, we are evolving to a new dimension of consciousness that involves a higher vibration. So would it be fair to say that you are assisting in that sort of evolutionary step?
There are those of you that are progressing in that way, while there are still many that are not. There are more doors that are being opened, metaphorically speaking, to those that are wishing to pass through those doors and to reach other levels of consciousness. Those are being made more available to those who are wishing to make those transitions.
Mhm. I would suspect that most humans are not even aware that such a transition is available or taking place. So are you influencing some of those who are, say, asleep to this idea, helping them to awaken to this idea?
Not so much.
Hmm. So you're working more with those who are aware that they are evolving through this, I guess, taking on a higher vibration and assisting them.
That is correct.
Yeah. Do you have an overall message for those people?
The ones that are transitioning or the ones who are not?
The ones that are transitioning.
Mm.
You know, I guess if they realize that they are transitioning, my question really is, what message would you have for them to help them to get on with it?
We ask them to be steadfast in their commitment to understand more of that, of who they really are. Do not waver in your commitment. Hold true to that which you know is true in your heart. Do not let the world take you away from that commitment, for a new world will continue to open up to you as you stay committed to walk along the path of your evolution, your spiritual evolution. While the world may distract you from that commitment, we ask you to play and spend more time in those activities that help you to stay connected to the truth of who you are. Playing more in those spaces and in those activities are a constant reminder of why you want to be there, or it makes you feel so good, alive and happy.
You say stay committed, and I get the impression that that may be challenging in some ways. And I know right now in the world there is a fair bit of disruption. We're seeing tornadoes and hurricanes, and many of the structures are crumbling. And I understand that is to make way for renewal and new structures and systems. Is there anything you might say besides stay committed that would help us to actually stay committed? What would be a good tactic or response to some of the chaotic things around us so that we can stay committed to this spiritual evolution?
What we mean is, when you make a conscious choice to commit to your spiritual evolution, that it is not one that you waver in the sense that one day you commit and decide to taking the steps towards understanding more about that which you really are. And then you will let the events of what occurs on planet Earth to pull you away from that decision. The events on planet Earth are constantly changing and also evolving, and you cannot remain in the past, but rather you are evolving too, in minuscule ways, so minuscule that in many ways you are not even perceptive of those tiny changes that are constantly occurring within and without, meaning outside the body. Making a decision to stay on that path requires constant practice. Requires that you bring more of that part of yourself, the beingness part of yourself, into your everyday lives. What we are referring to, Peter, is that this is not something that you participate in when times are good, when you're on vacation, when you have time to connect with that part of yourself. What it means is that you become more aware of that part of yourself on an everyday basis, that it travels with you, let's say, with all of the things that you need to do every day, everywhere that you go, that the essence of that which you are is always with you and always present, where you operate from that state of presence in everything that you do. Could you imagine that with every interaction that you have, that the true essence of who you are is present and there? With every exchange of ideas and conversations that you have with others, with every action that you participate in, that the love, and peace, and happiness and joy that you are partakes in everything that you do. That's what it means to integrate and to be whole, to integrate that part of yourself. So the wholeness of your being is there in every moment, whether you are participating in the good things in life or whether you are dealing head on with a challenge or travesty that part of yourself, that knowing part of you is there in everything that you do. So staying committed is not a practice that you take on in addition to your everyday lives, but rather an integration so that the wholeness of who you are is there at every moment.
Thank you for that. That is an excellent reminder. And as you were saying it, I thought, yes, it's well to remind ourselves, but also be conscious of that same wholeness is in everyone else.
Mm.
And but we do have to, as humans, I think, remind ourselves or make a practice of doing it. You know, I try to do it first thing in the morning, and usually I get to it. You know, I guess our time is somewhat limited. We're coming to an end here. Any final word you'd like to leave us with?
We always like to remind humanity of their true magnificence. As you said, the true essence that exists within all of you, that unites you and all the planet and everything on it, and even beyond all of that. You are connected to all that you see, all that you cannot see, all that has been, is, and ever was. You are a part of all of that. Yet your limited perceptions of even what's outside of your own personal life makes it difficult for you to remember that true oneness that you are all a part of.
Mm.
And that part of you is loving, blissful, at peace, and happy. And as you said, it is in all of you humans and in everything around you. Yet you don't see it with your eyes or feel it on your body or with your hands. It is something that exists beyond what you can sense. But it is all around you all the time. We want you to imagine it like when the sun is shining in the streams of light, the rays of light that are shining on everyone and everything, where everything is lit up because of that energy. It is around everything all the time. It is always there, even if you're not perceiving that ray of light that is streaming at so many miles or kilometers an hour in every moment. But that energy is always there, surrounding and emanating through and on you, in and out, always at every moment. is a beautiful thing for us to witness from our vantage point, how everything is lit up in gold, so luminescent and sparkling and brilliant and beautiful, yet you cannot see it with your eyes, but we know it to be true and can observe it. Really, the planet Earth, with the wonderful energy of everything that's on the planet, that's always radiating from everyone and everything. It's this beautiful ball of gold, gold light and love. There's so much energy on your planet. Things are moving and changing, growing, evolving. Things are always in flux. Things are always being created, manifested in 3D form. It's miraculous to see how all of your thoughts and actions create things, create new ideas, allow people to dream and be wishful. And then creating things on a whole bunch of levels, creating things on first on the level of thought, and then on the level of form, through thought, through action. Brilliant things.
Well, that picture itself, I think, would be great motivation for us all to stay committed and look forward to having the level of vibration that would allow us to see everything, perhaps the way you see it, or see them more in their true magnificence. Thank you very much, Guardians of Life, for being here. Your messages are very uplifting, and I think everybody who listens to this or sees the video will be much better off for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Teresa, you just come on back and take your time. You look sort of half asleep. How are you feeling?
Yeah, because you don't want to come back, Peter. Peter, those who meditate and get into that stillness of being, it feels so good that you almost don't want to come back into the world of doing.
I know what they were talking about, seeing everything in its full light is something that you from time to time see. It's a blissful kind of experience, and it comes with a higher vibration than most of us have, but it's something to look forward to because we're moving in that direction. And I think there's a lot of optimism in what just transpired. Thank you for this, Teresa. Now, I know you do some private counseling and healing and work with a lot of people. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yes, thank you. So yes, I am a Reiki master, and then I usually integrate the channeling with that healing because spirit often has a message for them. So that often comes through. So really it goes kind of hand in hand there. So they can always reach out to me by email, which is stepstotruehappiness@gmail.com. You can also check out my website at teresagreco.ca. I am very active on social media. So you can check out my Instagram page. It's Teresa Greco _ Steps to Happiness, or on Facebook as well, Steps to Happiness with Teresa Greco.
Good, good indeed. Well, Teresa, I know there's going to be a lot more coming from you in the way of messages from the Guardians and others. And there will be some videos coming out shortly as well. So we all look forward to it. And thank you very much for joining me today and having this time together. Thank you.
Thank you so much.